What's up, guys? Today I am here in one of the smaller skate parks in Managua, Nicaragua. So this is Parque de Luis Alfonso, and this is the skate park. It's pretty small, and I like this park because there's usually not that many people here, which is nice, as opposed to the bigger skate park, which is over there. It's much bigger, like triple the size of this skate park, and there's usually a decent amount of people there, and like that's where like the good skaters go. So this is great to just like practice and learn. And it's pretty much the same as skate parks you'd have in the US. There's a couple different elements here. There's this ramp. So I like this area because you can go up that ramp and then go over and then go on that one. Pretty basic, really. That's like pretty much all I do for skating is like up and then this way. Woo! Somehow I'm getting messages and I don't understand why, because I'm in a park right now, so I guess my phone has Wi-Fi connection or something. And that's something that's pretty cool here. Most of the parks have Wi-Fi, and so like when I'm here, I don't even have a cell phone service. I don't have to pay a monthly bill for that because I can just use Wi-Fi and use WhatsApp all the time. And WhatsApp is like the standard, basically. Here in Nicaragua, you can have Claro or Movistar for your cellular service. The problem, though, is that if you have Movistar, you can only call people on the Movistar network. And if you have Claro, you can only call people on the Claro network. So a lot of people will use WhatsApp because with WhatsApp, you can call anybody. And you'll just use Claro or Movistar to have a data connection, which you then use to use WhatsApp. And that's pretty much the standard, right? So let's see, what else? This is like a little park, pretty typical. There's an area over here where you can buy like beverages, ice cream, that kind of thing. Place for like families to sit while their kids skate or bike or whatever people do in skate parks, right? Then over here, you can't really see it because the trees are in the way, but there is a building over there. One second, we'll be able to see it. Let me just get up here. All right, there we go. Okay, so now, you see that building? That is one of the only tall buildings in Managua that survived the earthquake that destroyed almost the entire city. And as far as I know, the reason it survived is because the foundation actually has like a wheel system. So it absorbs shocks and tremors, and it's pretty tall. Like that's definitely, like Managua back in the day used to have a city line like most cities do, like a skyline. Whereas now there's only like 3 or 4 tall buildings, and there's only 2 that I know of that have been around since the earthquake. So there's that one right there, and then there's also this plaza that's shaped kind of like a triangle. And if you look at the shape of that, I mean, it kind of makes sense how it survived. But it's pretty awesome. So you can go, like this skate park is like a 20-minute walk from where I live, or you could just pay a taxi, right? And in my case, I went with one other person, and it cost 50 cords to get here. So that's approximately $1.80. There's 32 cords per dollar, right? So it's like super affordable, and there's a bunch of stuff to do here. Like over there, there's an Olympic pool. So you can go there and practice, and you have like your own lane, that kind of thing. To use the pool, you have to pay a membership fee, and I think the membership is like $30 a month, something like that, which is like pretty expensive relatively, considering like using the skate park is free, and even using the bigger park, Parque, this is the smaller part of Parque Luis Alfonso, but using the bigger park, they have tons of stuff, like tons of stuff for kids to do. They have multiple like basketball courts, baseball courts, It's huge, and there's a bunch of places you can get food, that kind of stuff, and a big skate park that's like, this is all ramps, there's no like bowls, but that skate park has bowls in it. So there's like a whole court you can go down with like multiple ramps to get from one end of it to the other. Whereas here you can just kind of like I could go over that thing and then down and up somewhere else, or I could do this little thing right here behind me. But the loops are pretty short. Whereas in the other skate park, they're like really long. So it's pretty fun. But again, there's gonna be more people at that skate park, but it's free and it's pretty awesome. Like everything here is so affordable, and like there's a lot of crap online about Nicaragua and like what's going on here and that kind of thing. And it really is exaggerated. Like there definitely is hardship here, but it's important to understand like millions of people live in this country. And a lot of Americans think like, oh, everybody's poor, everybody's starved, everydy's dying, there's violence everywhere. And that's just not true. Like okay, and in my case, for example, like by Nicaraguan standards, I earn good money, right? And I only earn like $1,000 a month at the minimum to $2,000, right? And that is plenty of money to live here. Like plenty. That's enough that I can do basically anything that I want, right? So that being said, I'm not here on the finances of a typical Nicaraguan person, but from my perspective, like Nicaragua doesn't deserve the flack that America gives it, and it definitely doesn't deserve like the economic problems that America is causing right now by like limiting imports into Nicaragua and all this stuff. Like it really is just shows how ignorant most Americans are about foreign countries, especially given the fact that the American lifestyle is only even possible because of countries like this. Like the backs, like America is built on the backs of people in these countries. And it's so frustrating for me how ignorant a lot of American people are about the circumstances here. Because like, okay, like in the neighborhood I live in Bologna, and there's barricades there because we live near where the president is, right? So there's barricades that have guards with like assault rifles and everything, right? And like a typical American would come here and be really scared of that, right? But honestly, like every morning I pass by these guards, I look at them and I smile and I say hello, and they smile at me and they're like, hola, buen dia. Like they're really friendly. And it just shows how like, if you are respectful to people and you are quiet and you don't cause problems, it's gonna be fine. Like, I get that from within America, looking at foreign countries makes it seem like it's so different and that it's like really dangerous and that kind of thing. But you have to be really careful talking about a place if you've never been there and you've never lived there. And especially if you're reading stuff online, like a lot of journalism is really ignorant. And it's like, it's just really frustrating for me because there's such a good life you can live overseas. Like, you really can go to a foreign country and live a good life off like $600 or $700 a month. For like some perspective here, for a young person to have a job that pays like $500 or $600, that's like they played all of their cards right. They're doing really well. And like, if you're earning money online, it's completely feasible for you to earn $500 or $600. Like, that is completely feasible and completely doable. And it's really odd to me how many, contradictions there are in American culture, for example. When I talk to people about coming to Nicaragua and wanting to live here, they think I'm crazy. They don't understand why. And like, it's so odd because like they'll talk about taking risks, and then meanwhile, they're in a car in traffic for 2 hours a day. You realize how risky it is to be in a vehicle? Like, the act of being alive is inherently filled with taking risks. And it's so frustrating for me how often people have double standards about the risks that they're willing to take. Like, they're not willing to go to a country where they could live an amazing life because of these perceived risks, even though they're already taking risks that put their lives in danger. And they are okay with the risks that they're taking because everybody has to drive in a car. You have to have a car to have a job, you know? So that's just the way it is. But it doesn't have to be that way, right? You could live an amazing, awesome, incredible life off of not that much money, and you could be free. Like, in my case, I work 30 minutes a day. Like, if I want to work more than that, I do. But I don't have to work every day. I can do anything that I want here, and my life is absolutely amazing. And anybody could do this. Literally anybody in the world could get into that situation without that much money at all. But most people won't. And for me, this was a big struggle because for years, I thought that it was all about accessing information. I thought that if you gave people the right information, they would change their lives. But now I understand that people aren't in the situations that they're in because of a lack of information. It's nice to think that. It's nice to think that if everybody just had the solutions, they would fix their problems. But the reality is, people's judgment holds them down. The way that you perceive the world holds you down. And if you have lived in one area and you've only been surrounded by a certain kind of people, you do not have an accurate sense of the world. It's just impossible. The only way to really understand the opportunity that's out there is to expose yourself to a lot of different countries, a lot of different opportunities, and a lot of different people, because then you just see like how much the internet has changed absolutely everything about the way that the world works. And we live in a time where you can literally do whatever you want and get paid for it. Like, you can work 30 minutes a day and not even have to do that and earn $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Like, that is a lifestyle you can have. And if you're willing to move to a foreign country, that $1,000 or $2,000 becomes the equivalent of like $4,000 or $5,000 in the United States. It's absolutely crazy, you know? All right, guys, this has probably gone on long enough. I just wanted to do this video, show you this place, and talk a bit about Nicaragua. I'll see you guys next time, and I'll be doing much more videos just like this. Ciao!